So I would push for more monitoring. I also want to see that we have more options in terms of vehicles, so electronic vehicles, pushing and campaigning for more of that to come to the borough and encouraging people to, where they can, use public transport. I think that's really, really important. Like I said before, I think this is a conversation that has to have, it has to have a global effort. We need more conversation on it because there's a lot of things that stop us moving forward in terms of pollution and green issues. I have a disability and my car is essential to me getting up every day to do what I need to do. So I would say it's pushing for more options to go green, and that's what I'm going to be working for. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Zia, three things, have you got it?
I might go for one for sake of time and not wasting your time. So I used to work in New Zealand for the City Council in Wellington, and something I did there, and my colleagues looked at 20-year, 30-year, 40-year plans about numbers of people, populations, densities, where people are going. I'm sure we do here as well. And we try to plan infrastructure and transport so it's sustainable around those sorts of numbers and what's happening. So if I came in and wanted that sort of thing, look at people at cities around the world, look what they're doing, look at their plans, steal their ideas, look at Copenhagen and their cycle lanes, see how we can apply those to us, see what our population is going to look like in 10, 20, 30 years' time, and try and make sure we build the best we can and promote those areas.
Thank you. I'm pleased that we're getting really international. We've got Hong Kong, we've got Copenhagen now, we've got New Zealand. This is getting better and better. Thank you.
I'm not going to go there, just call them up and email them.
Right, David, please.
Right, well, I've mentioned living streets already. That's not one of my three things, but it would be. So firstly, I would stop the toxic cruise port, or try to stop the toxic cruise port that sadly was given permission by the planning board. That will have an impact across the borough, I think. Secondly, I would want action to be taken in when we have those really nasty high pollution days. Can we actually do the same as Paris and many Italian cities do, and actually say, let's leave our cars at home today, and put out alerts, please leave your cars at home, and actually close certain streets. Thirdly, I would introduce a cycle hire scheme across the Greenwich, and make sure we implement the new cycle lane. We're meant to having all through our ward a segregated cycle lane which will go from the town centre through to the hospital and the army area.
Thank you very much. Right, of course we've got Paris and Italy now, so I would expect you to have another country in answer briefly.
What I would do, because I know Greenwich has the highest number of monitoring stations within London, what I'd be encouraging is not just having those monitoring stations, but looking at the result and putting an action plan in place to say, with what we've collected, the data we've collected, how do we take those data to make it greener? So I'd encourage just to have action plan where you follow through to see if those monitoring stations if the monitoring data are being used. Secondly, encouraging the planting of trees. I think Greenwich has got that in its manifesto, because tree will give you that oxygen. And also encouraging public transport. Three things, is that three?
Yes, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Yeah. Right, the next two set of questions are